What's going on, everybody? I just watched Supergirl. I'm going to give you my spoiler-free review of this movie, and I can tell you right now, it's a hot mess. This movie is all over the place. There are things that are happening, and you're just like, "Why is it happening?" Or "Why is that happening? Why is this character not aware of this?" It just issues after issues throughout this movie. I felt at times I'm like, this movie just feels like it's written by an amateur, someone with very little experience. And that's what it is. Anna Nagura, whatever her name is, she doesn't have a whole lot of experience in this genre. And it shows. And the person that should be at fault is James Gunn, because he's ultimately the one who makes the decision on who writes it, who directs it. And speaking of directing, Gillespie, terrible job. Cinematography is terrible. It's bland, it's muddy, it's boring, and it's just not vibrant enough. And you can tell that there wasn't a whole lot of thought put into making sure that the atmosphere around Supergirl was really nice. It felt like green screens a lot of the time. It felt like they're in a studio instead of like an outdoor at times. It just felt rushed and it felt cheap compared to what you see with David Cornsweet's Superman movie, who, by the way, is in this movie. There are several cameo and flashbacks in this movie, and they were the better parts of this movie. I was more interested in the flashbacks than I was with the actual plot of this movie. That tells you how bad this movie was when I'm like, I like that 2 minute cutscene of them talking, because him and Kara talking, Superman, Kal-El and Kara talking, were some of the best moments of this movie. You felt that love, that connection of they're the only two surviving members, and I thought that is good. So I think they got that part right with Millie Alcock and Cornsworth being Superman and Supergirl. I think that part is fine. I know people out there making fun of her looks and all that stuff. Look, a lot of us are way uglier than she is, and I know people are asking for 10 out of 10s all the time, and I get it. But even if you had a 10 out of 10 female actress in the movie, that person would not have been able to save this movie. That's how bad this movie was in terms of the writing. Jason Momoa as Lobo, it's nice to see that. There are some fun moments with him, but at the end of the day, you also question about like this character is immortal. He's strong as Superman, and there's sometimes situations arise when you're just like, "Ha, why did they not understand this guy's powers and his abilities?" He was a fun comic relief and is great. If people are looking like, people are saying we need more female superheroes out there. Well, this female superhero, the way she's portrayed, is just not something I would. If I had a daughter, I wouldn't want my daughter to grow up and model herself after this superhero, because it's not a superhero. It's sort of like a drunk punk rock type of person, and it's okay if you're like that. But you're gonna tell me that little girl should look up to this character, like little boy should look up to Superman? No, it's not it. I don't know. This is James Gunn's Guardian DC version or whatever it is. It's just straight up weird. It was not a good movie. The bad guys were boring, and I could care less. The little girl that's in the movie with her, she's also just a really weird character. There's sometimes where she's vulnerable, then there's sometimes where she's like, I can handle my own with all these guys. And I'm just like, what's going on here? Which one is she? Is she someone that needs rescuing, or is this someone just needs to be there with you as a sidekick, the Batman and Robin thing? I don't understand. The direction was changing all the time in the movie. When it was convenient, then they would use her in that way and then switched up the other way, and it was just weird. Supergirl herself as the character throughout the movie, not aware half the time of things that could hurt her, and I'm just like, what? You don't realize there's this thing could hurt you? I don't understand. Like, is she unaware because she's never been, in that situation? It was just so bizarre, and I could not believe. I'm just sitting there, could not believe that things were happening this way. I'm like, the person who wrote this clearly doesn't understand the character and the Kryptonians, and you can see that. I honestly, this movie, I would give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. It just went over that passing grade because of some of the scenes where Lobo's in there, and then the obviously the flashbacks with David Cornsweet, Superman, and Supergirl interacting. That is the only reason this movie got a 5.5. If those were removed from the equation, this movie would be a lot lower. I hope you like this review. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.